changes to the agenda tonight.
So the applicant for ZC 17 came into our office earlier this week and they more or less requested to modify their application to include another adjacent parcel to kind of fix a couple of issues that we found in our review. So it was too late to modify the agenda and produce an amended agenda. So just they won't be here. We're not going to present. They've asked to cancel that item tonight. But ZC 16 is still on the docket ready for review. So you'll see that ZC 17 in a modified fashion probably in another month. So once we get the notice and done.
Okay, can we have a motion to approve this amended agenda to strike ZC 17 from the?
I'll move to.
Do you have a second?
Agenda. By striking cells in C 17.
17. Okay, and we have a second from Luke. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Approval of the minutes. The minutes from our last meeting held on the 3rd were made available for the commission to review. Does any commissioner or staff member care to correct those minutes tonight? No. The minutes are approved under the consent agenda. We have one file to hear tonight, to review tonight. It's an application for zone change. The procedure for hearing a file is the following. Staff will present a staff report from the rostrum over here on my right. The applicant or their representative presents an overview of the project, again from the rostrum. The commission may ask questions of staff and or the applicant. Normally at the end of their presentations, the commission opens the hearing to public testimony, and I'll explain the rules for that later. The applicant and the staff then have an opportunity to rebut any new information presented in the public testimony. And finally, the commission will close the hearing to public testimony. We'll deliberate and hopefully we'll vote. All right, first file, the only file tonight is ZC 1622, a zone change. The applicant's requesting a zone change from rural 5 to recreation of a 1 1/4 acre parcel. Parcel is currently zoned rural 5. Project is located off Lovey Bay Road in section 24, township 60 north, range 5 west, Boise Meridian. And our staff member tonight is Eric. Hey, take it away, Eric.
Eric Beasley, Bonner County Planning. So these are our hearing procedures for tonight. I'm here to present file ZC 0016-22. It's a zone change for rural 5 to recreation. Here are the Bonner County Revised Code standards that I utilize to judge this application against. There's a continuation of the Bonner County Revised Code standards that I utilize.
Eric, I need to interrupt you real quick. Does any commissioner have any conflict of interest or ex parte communication disclosed about this file? No. Negative. Okay. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you. A little bit of background about this proposal. The applicant is requesting a zone change from rural 5 to recreation. They would like to, in the future, divide this parcel equally into about 0.625 acres. The existing parcel is 1.25 acres. And once again, this application was evaluated against Bonner County Revised Code standards for rural 5 and recreation. And the land use designation for this existing parcel is resort community. Resort community, the land use designation mainly is a classification reserved for urban life densities for areas centered around the recreational areas developed for winter and water sports, golf and hiking, where provided. And the recreation zone district is a zoning district that allows for a range of housing types, granted that adequate services are available, providing commercial and private resorts, and an ability for recreational activities uses may be excluded provided they are incompatible with the recreational character of an area. Development that creates open space, protects environmental features, reduces infrastructural costs, while creating recreational opportunities is encouraged in these areas. Simple design standards are used to enhance recreational opportunities and character in these areas. And off to the right is the subject parcel with the current zone district GIS overlay. And here are the specific standards for review. VCRC 12-323 is for Rule 5. And VCRC 12 or VCRC 12-328 is for recreation. A little bit of background about this subject parcel. This parcel is vacated, or yeah, it's vacant. That's a temporary RV dwelling unit on there currently, or within this photo here. It is unplatted, and once again, it is roughly 1.25 acres in resort community land use designation and Rule 5 for the zoning district. The subject parcel is located off of Lovey Bay Road. From there, you would have to take Gulf Estates Drive, which is a privately owned and maintained road. And continuation of just a background information for the subject parcel. This parcel doesn't have any map slopes or wetlands, and doesn't have a waterfront or stream that proceeds through it. The firm panel is Zone D, which means it's a parcel that hasn't really been studied for floodplain. The services for this parcel, for water, there is an individual well located on the parcel, and for sewage, Kalispell Sewer District. I apologize about saying that incorrectly if I have. And for fire, Priest Lake Fire District services this parcel, and Northern Lights services this parcel for power. It is within West Ponderay School District number 83. And these are the agencies we routed this proposal to. We did receive 2 responses from agencies. One is from Idaho Department of Water Resources, and the other is from Panhandle Health District. You can request to see these letters. All other agencies did not reply. And we did not receive any public comments for this file. And staff replied to the staff's response for the standards of review. The first standard, which is from 12-323, is developed at or near the 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres. Staff response is the subject parcel is currently in Rule 5 zoning district. Adjacent properties are currently developed at or near 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres, along with properties that recreational uses are permissible. The second standard is from VCRC 12-328, and that is land is physically suitable to accommodate a broad range of residential and recreational uses. Staff's response is the recreation comprehensive plan goal and objective entail public and private recreational opportunities which are recognized as a major county asset to be protected and encouraged. Public recreational accesses and amenities shall not be obstructed or adversely impacted by future development. The land use designation for the subject parcel is resort community. Proposal fits the recreation goal as the applicant intends to use the subject parcel to provide a range of housing types. And the final review or the final standard from BCRC 12-328 is sites are served by adequate sewage disposal service, water supply, roads, and other needed public facilities and services. Staff's response is the following: the subject parcel can be accessed from Lovey Bay Road, a Bonner County owned and maintained road. The property has a connection to Kalispell Sewer District, an existing community sewer system, and has an individual well for water. Northern Lights provides power to the subject parcel and Priest Lake Fire District. The site has adequate services. Here are the findings of fact. And the conclusions of law. Conclusion 1. Proposal is in accord with the following elements of the Bonner County Comprehensive Plan. Conclusion 2. This proposal was reviewed for compliance with Title 12, Bonner County Revised Code, and was found to be in compliance. Conclusion 3. The proposal is in accord with the purpose of the Recreation Zoning District, provided at Chapter 3, Title 12, Bonner County Revised Code. Staff's response is the proposed zone change is consistent with the Bonner County Revised Code. I can answer any questions at this time.
The only question I have, Panhandle Health made a comment, you said, but if it's connected or has ability to connect with the sewer district. Was there comment, did it have any substance to it?
Their comment,
Yeah, Panhandle Health District's comment.
you know, I honestly can't remember the comment at this moment. And
We can pull it up here.
Yeah, we'll-
okay,
I'm just kind of curious if it has access to a sewer district, what the comment could possibly be.
right.
And then, the application states Kalispell Sewer District will provide each new lot. We recommend the applicant contact the sewer district. To assess the connection feasibility for the proposed lots.
Sorry, no, it's all good. I'm just kind of curious what possibly could they say? But, and this is kind of a canned response.
Yeah, I thought there might be a moratorium or something.
Yeah.
But nope.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Stone?
I just think her.
Thank you.
Would the applicant care to speak tonight?
I mean, sure, hi, my name's.
Come on up to the podium and just introduce yourself.
Perfect.
And
Thanks. Hi there, my name's Jacob Manfred, I'm the son of the applicants, and so our goal there, as you might have noticed, is there's two RVs on the lot, so we're just hoping to divide it and then split it amongst the two families that are currently on the lot right now, so that was pretty much all I had, but thank you very much, you guys.
And you're doing this without a representative? You put the form together yourself and stuff?
I believe so, my parents are the ones on the actual deed, so
Okay.
I believe they put this all together, so thank
I
you.
have a quick question.
Yeah.
Are the RVs currently served by Kalispell Sewer District?
Yes.
Do you plan on that? I have more questions. I'm sorry.
No, no worries.
Sorry. Just curious, like, so, are you guys planning on doing a shared well there with the water that's already there, or are you drilling another well for the other?
We
person?
would drill a second well in there.
Okay.
Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Good name, good strong name.
It's a couple of them in this room.
The chair issues a demerit to Eric for taking such an easy file. All right. Let's go to public testimony. Is there anyone in the room that'd like to share public testimony for or against or neutral regarding this file? It's a serious question. No, all right. And we'll we can discuss the file now if we'd like.
I'm fine with just going straight.
We have anyone online, do we?
Yeah, I don't see any issues with this whatsoever.
Straightforward. Easy.
Yeah.
Look at the zoning, and work around it.
Kind of wish they'd asked for a zone change for that whole little corridor there
Yeah,
that's all
right.
chopped up in weird shapes and stuff. All right, well, we'll forego rebuttals. Chair closes the hearing of public testimony and the commissioner will now deliberate the file.
Mr. Chairman, I move to recommend approval to the Board of County Commissioners on this project file ZC 0016-22, requesting a zone change from rural 5 to recreation. Finding that it is in accord with the general and specific objectives of the Bonner County Comprehensive Plan and Bonner County Revised Code as enumerated in the following conclusions of law. And based upon the evidence submitted up to the time the staff report was prepared and testimony received with this hearing. I further move to adopt the findings of facts and conclusions of law as set forth in the staff report or as amended during the hearing. And direct planning staff to draft written findings and conclusions to reflect this motion. Have the chairman sign and transmit to all interested parties. This action does not result in a taking of private property.
We've got a motion. Would any, you want to talk about the motion or anybody want to offer a second?
No.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. We'll vote from the left, please.
Commissioner Scott, aye.
Commissioner Webster, aye.
Commissioner Clark, aye.
And Commissioner Marvel, aye. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor and none voting against. And that's the end of that file. Literally the easiest file we've ever done.
They did the compromise change first too. So compound map change with the board.
That was the.
Yeah, and then the next door neighbor just did the same thing. Last year, earlier this year.
Yeah.
Being inside the sewer district, this is what we want there, right?
Sure.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, you guys, that was
Okay,
great, yeah, we're excited, I mean, the big goal is just. There's 2 families there now, and they wanna make it, each family has their own space, so it's
it'll be great.
eventually 2 small houses, you know.
Really so great.
Eric's out here. He's got.
You did a great job.
He really needed that cigarette.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great night.
It took longer for you guys to set this whole thing up and our whole meeting.
I have to ask Matt, do you have a relation to Michelle?
That is my niece.
Really? Okay, that's great. I work at it.
Oh, okay.
I worked with her for a couple of years.
Okay, all right, right on, man. Are you still working up there?
Yeah, every once in a while, I work for Coachella in town now, so that's why
Okay.
Good for
you.
I'm in charge of attending all the hearings on the land change, so. It was a weird zoning at first, so it's been quite the process. to
Yeah.
Brought up to speed, so. Yeah, really
Well,
appreciate you guys, thank you.
Have a good
Okay.
night.
Thank
Guns blazing, man. Have a good time.
Good holiday.
Director, the chair do we have a new assistant director here tonight? Well, the chair recognizes the new assistant director. Welcome.
Thought we had a new assistant director.
Yeah, he's not chilling. Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you.
not speaking as a member of the public.
I thought.
So, as far as updates, like,
Yes.
I'll be quick. We got time.
I haven't even done with my Coke yet.
I know, right? Brent did let me know he wasn't gonna be here tonight, just a heads up, so he was, I think he sent you and I both. So, I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal. So we had our first annual bake off in our planning department today. So the winner of the new golden spatula is Katie. So we had a criteria. This is my accountants. The 1 through 5 rating on 4 different, so that top score you can get is 20. So we took an average of 5 different scores, and it was the commissioner's office and their admin staff came down as an unbiased evaluation, right? So Katie had an average of 16.8 in first place. So she did very good.
What kind of dish she have?
Cupcakes.
Oh, really?
I know.
How do you think something like
What you have here is the tie for second place, which is a 16.6. And then Jana had a 16.4 for third place.
That was close.
With a really, really good. What was it? Apple crisp? No, Dutch apple pie.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
So if you guys need more sweets, I think we sell leftovers. Feel free to stop by.
No.
We'll award that on Monday when people are back in the office, but. It was the grand poobah of baking, I think what it says on the house. Other than that, the planning commission continues to move forward with some component updates. We have a board meeting, December 7th, is that right, Jim?
December 7th, yep.
for the. Is that when they're doing the goals, policies and objectives? Yeah,
Mhm.
great. December 7th, that might affect some CUPs as some of those goals and policies get shifted and how we evaluate those. It shouldn't be too big of an effect, and that's only for the CUPs you guys see, which aren't very many now. The hearing examiner had a meeting yesterday, things went really well. Other than that, we're seeing some slowdown. We're working on different ways to find such potential violations and whatnot, so. Other than that, like, this is the time of year where you see lots of staff in and out due to vacation, so. Swati's out of the country for a couple more weeks, and she'll be done. She went back home for the first time in like 3 years, so, yeah. so-
She
yeah,
comes
she's
back.
3.5 weeks, yeah, yeah, she'll be back, she told me, so. The air is too fresh here not to come back. She has to come back, otherwise I get out of her. bucket.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Dawn looked at the weather, it's 80 degrees there, so. She'll be happy there for a while.
Where's home?
India. Nice. Yeah, yeah, I don't know what part of that's. I don't know either.
She told me, but
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's about all I got. I don't really have anything else. Any questions for me?
You know, after that last file, we had our last meeting. And it was regarding,
Variance?
pardon?
The variance?
Yes, yes, and what it was regarding, you know, we had a recorded plot and it said a 60-foot setback instead of county mandates 40. And so, you know, as was discussed, whichever one's more restrictive there. However, and I got him, I was curious about, it, so I tried to look the plat up, but I wasn't able to find it.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because the county commissioner signs off on those plats. So they're saying, yes, this is the restrictions on it. It can actually go the other direction too, because I had a piece of property where they actually gone ahead and put in building envelopes.
Yeah.
And so the building envelopes were signed off. It's the same thing as having a certificate of compliance when they sign that plat, that they can go ahead and build and utilize those setbacks. Not necessarily that, and they were less restrictive than the counties.
And sometimes those are, so. To amend those, you have to do a minor notational change. It's a replat essentially. There's one that we're working on right now for a gentleman that has very restricted. He has like 10 acres and he has like a 1/4 acre building in the way. And it's really, and there's a nice flat spot up on top of the hillside. He's like, I can't build there because the plat's too restricted.
Gotcha.
Right? So they can modify their specific parcel.
Gotcha.
We did another one of those for a wetland setback. Where they came back in and delineated those and came back that it was a less good, so the setback went from down to like 10 feet from 30 or something like that. I
Yeah.
have to do that, but,
Yeah.
But it's a minor additional change for that specific property.
Yeah, or vice versa, just for clarification, there is no, there's nothing on the face of the plat. And let's say the more restrictive building envelope is in an HOA or a CCNR document. The county doesn't regulate any of that,
Right.
so,
So-
as long as they meet the county minimum. Yeah,
But
But they can find themselves in a civil court case
correct.
Yeah.
but
if they don't
the
honor
county
the
has
HOA.
nothing to-
Because I see that a lot on some of our files, you know, subject to your CCNRs, that's not how it's worded, but yeah. Kind of like you
So
said
you
there.
can't supersede the restrictions.
Right.
They have to do that.
Gotcha.
Short variances and whatnot, so we can approve the variance, but if there's a restriction on that, that restricts it to something else. So
Well, like on that file there, I was really curious because in the HOAs, they allowed 5 feet, not counting eaves in their HOAs.
Right.
So what I was curious about, I saw that it was like the 3rd or 4th phase and they just adopted all the same CCNR. So I was curious if those CCNRs and recording number was on the face of that plat, that would incorporate those CCNRs. And just like in some of our certificates of compliance, I remember, I don't know if it got changed here recently or not, maybe last year or something. A certificate of compliance, signed off plats the same as certificate of compliance or something along that lines.
I have to do that.
Yeah, I can't remember for sure what it was, but it got me to thinking, I guess we need to look at that full plat to see if there are CCNRs referencing the recording numbers in there.
Right.
And if they're signed off by the county, does that allow that property owner then? No, you don't think so?
No, because the way I've been told or understand it is if it's shown on the face of the plat, the county commissioner is signing off on that. Whether the instrument number for CCNRs is on the plat or recorded after. There's a separate document that ties those CCNRs to that. But again, the county had no hand in that. Even if it is on the face of the plat, says, by the way, the subdivision is, restricted to the CCNRs. If it's not shown on the plat, they just have to meet the county standards, and the county doesn't regulate if they need to modify the CCNRs, that's civil.
Yeah.
But if you
That
want
makes
something
sense.
to not be civil, if you're a developer and you're working on something, you want those things spelled out on your plat and then recorded on the Mylar and then signed off.
It's shown and spelled out, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if a limited development on LOD. Let's say you put it where it's 15 feet from the street, where maybe that was a setback at the time that was recorded. If that allows you that variant or not.
That's
a
what,
really good question.
not well, because the one I had, ran into, this was several years ago, it was at Baldy. And it did, it had, it has
Yeah.
the building envelopes, and of course, back then it was zoned differently than it is now. Had less setbacks,
Yeah,
and so then it's like, okay,
that's a good question. I'll bring that up to Bill next time I chat with him. I would say we probably lean on the side of caution and go with more restrictive, right? If the LOD is more restrictive, then the county setbacks will follow that. Otherwise, if it's less restrictive, we'll follow whatever the current setback is, but. You might end up with a really encumbered property. That you'd have, but there's ways to fix that, right? With a minor notation, I should not say with flats. Sometimes they encumbered it too much where it's less buildable and today's standards are better or whatever. People can fix that.
The same example, but if the house got built after that, right, it would be grandfathered in. Okay.
And it's gonna make it worse. Yeah. Well, we still have an opening on the planning commission, so if you know any friends, send them our way. Be a free teacher. Yeah,
free cookies.
and cookies, there's some cookies there for each other.
Are we still on for next meeting on December 1st?
Yeah.
There are no files for December 1st.
No.
December 15th.
And then we canceled that first meeting in, oh, thank you, I was gonna bring up the calendar, we canceled the first meeting in January. I'm gonna, if we're still seeing like 1 or 2 files a month, I think next year we could just start scheduling us just 1 meeting a month. And we'll just call it the second. Thursday, second Thursday of the month, or
Third?
It's first and third, so third, I mean, there's too many hearings now. Hearing examiner of the board, you guys plan, yeah. Anyways, so the second Thursday or not, third Thursday. So I'll get you the calendar, for your review. Well, it's up with the commissioners right now to give us location, but whether they manage this building for the 2 conference rooms. So let us know when we're here, when we're upstairs.
So our next hearing will be on the 15th of December.
Well, that was a question I had about rezoning deliberated on what? Have the board of commissioners seen that one?
That'll go on the 21st of December.
21st.
Yeah, the applicant's rep was out of town and wasn't able to meet their timelines, and they requested over here. So that's the Hammond zone change. It's a rural service center. We get proposed a development agreement.
Yeah, that's what I was interested in.
Yeah. So, yeah, late December, he's gonna be gone for 2 weeks, traveling or something like that. So, good job. You're yawning, it's just 6 o'clock. Oh, my God. She's sort of like-
That time of year.
It's been a long day. She started. at
Fox
2
won't hang
o'clock,
with
right?
it, just came back.
It was doing an adjustment or something.
Really?
It was doing this.
All right, so he's got the gap.
Okay, the time is 6 p.m. We're adjourned until the 15th of December.